Hello everybody, welcome to this wonderful reading. I'm Zoe Alex, welcome. In this wonderful reading I'm going to provide you is going to be for the February 26th to March 6th of 2025. In this reading I'm going to tell you all is that basically that's what it seems to be in this moment of time. I basically understand that everything will be fine, but then it's like how it is, right? So let me get this straight. Whenever you're having a bad day into a good day, you need to be vigilant on what you're going to be doing. If someone's telling you what to do and you don't like it or you don't appreciate it, you need to understand the way of how it was. Because, a long story short, that whether it seemed to be good or bad, you have to make the other person happy. What I'm saying is that for your other person is that when you have a life partner, and when you do, you have to provide what they're doing. It's basically how I'm going to try to interpret my own words by doing the tarot situation. There are things that you must learn first. In order to do that, you need to provide what you're looking for. Whether if it's whether it is uh, you know love and romantic and everything else, right? And you see it as a turning point. But there are reasons that you must learn, in order to do that, right? It's the way of how this is. It's the way of how you can do that and, have your own work experience and things like that. But the problem is in this dialogue, you need to understand about what you're looking for. It's based on that reality. It's based on how you can do that, whether you can do it. It's the way of how you do what you can and say, all right, well, this is the way it goes and this is the way it happens. What I'm getting at is that this is the way it needs to be, and you need to understand that this is the way how it is, right? Because when you think about it, you think about how it's gonna be, whether it's good or bad, whether you proceed with caution, um, and it's very interesting, So it's like you need to have a balancing act. You need to have a balancing way of saying, okay, well, I know what to do, but then this is the way it goes, right? So I'll be reading one oracle card, and we will keep doing this reading. But the point being is that this is the way it goes. And in this reading, it says, failure. I understand a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. That's the way reason. It's the main drag. Whether you're going to pass or fail, it's the way of how it goes, right? It's like you're trying to be who you are and saying, all right, well, I got this, I know what to do. But then you believe that you need to do it. There are things that you must learn. In order to do that, you need to have your own way of progressing. It's the way of how you can do it. But when you have failure, it's like, are you going to pass or are you going to fail? That's the question. But the point being is that you need to learn about what's going on. You have to face your own reality. You have to face about what you're looking for, because when you have failure, you have an opportunity to fail. Whether if you're in a long-term relationship, whether if you're being scammed, or you're being taken advantage of, or being catfished, or whatever it is, right? And the point being is that there are things that you must learn, because you need to do research, you need to follow the rules, you need to pay attention, right? You have to use your own enthusiasm, and your aspect, because you have to provide what you're looking for. It's based on that opportunity. It's based on how you can look at it and look forward to and all that stuff. You need to understand that, because there are things that you need to understand that. Like, life doesn't give you miracles. No, you have to provide. But if you're gonna have miracles, they will come to you. You have to believe about that, because there is a good saying in the Bible, and it means that ask and you shall receive. That's what it is, right? You have to think about that, because there are things that you need to understand. You need to provide. You need to do whatever you want, and that's what's based on that. But in theory, you need to pay attention what you're going to be doing. It's just how it is, right? It's like when you're following your own house rules, you follow them. But if you don't follow the house rules, then why? You become a failure? Maybe. But you need to understand that, because you need to believe what's going on. It's the way of how you can provide it. You have to do what's based on that, right? This is not like truth or conciliation. It's not that. But you need to believe about that. You need to believe about how it is. This is not anti-bullying. It's not how it is. But when you have the failure, and when you fail, you make a mistake, but then you have an opportunity to learn from it. That's what it is, right? That's the way it's based on that, because that's the way it seems to be. You need to understand that, because life will give you lots of opportunities. The universe will give you 1,000 things, but you need to provide well. If you have 1,000 things, you have to use one thing. That's the way it goes, right? Because I see myself differently. I see myself differently, rather than other people do. They see me that I'm good looking, I'm nice, I'm cute, everything else, right? And they see me a lot differently. Others, they don't see that. They see it like, okay, well, he's a brick wall. I don't care about him. But that's just a beautiful example there. Okay. The point being is that what I'm trying to get is that when you have failure, you have based on that. You have the based on how you can do it, how you can moderate your own beliefs. Moderation is the key. And I always say this is that moderation is the key to open every single door. That's what it is, right? Life will give you so many things, but you need to understand that, right? That's what the universe is saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm providing you. Because it gives you that opportunity. It gives about that, the way of how you can do it, the way how you can, intervene and how you can do it. But this is not like a monologue. This is not the way of how it is. This is me being persistent. It's the way of how it works, because you have to provide of what you're looking for. It's based on that. It's based on, math and numerology and algebra and all that. But that's what it seems to be. You need to believe about that. You need to believe that, okay, well, everything's fine. But it's like, no. It's not that. It's not your cup of coffee. It's not your cup of tea. It's the way of how you can do it. It's the way of how you can provide it, because that's the way it goes, right? But I'm drinking this tea. That's peppermint tea. It's very good. So that's the way it happens. So I already shuffled the cards, and I'll do one card, and then I'll reveal what's happening. Okay, so this is the way it looks. And here we go. So the point being is that if the Seven of Pentacles is upright, it does represent your career. It does represent what you're going to be going through. It does represent Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus as the earth signs. But the way of how this is the way of how this is going to be, because in that past tense, you need to believe about that. Having a career is basically how it is. So if it's reversed, you already have a career. If it's upright, you need to have a career. Whether if you're going to be doing nursing or doctoring or whatever it is, you have to do that, right? Because you have to believe that this is the way it goes. Now, I'm going to go from the middle to left and right. So the Knight of Pentacles is upright, followed by the King of Pentacles reversed, followed by the Temperance reversed. Yeah, because you're not healing. No, you're not. You're having trust, because you're going to be trusting on that. And the King of Pentacles reversed, because you're not going to be like a working person. But I'm going to clarify that, please. The Knight of Swords is upright because you're feeling trauma. And the Death card represents endings. The King of Swords reversed, there's no support. Two of Cups reversed, there's no relationships. And the Sun reversed means negativity. See, you're drawing into negativity. When you're into negativity, it's basically on how you can do it. It's the way of how you can do what you can and say, alright, well, this is the way it goes, and you think about how it remains. But this is the way it kind of goes, because you look at from it. You look at from a different past tense, but the way of how that was, that's the way it goes. Now, on the right side, I'm going to clarify this Temperance card. Knight of Cups is upright, there's romance. King of Wands is upright, there's passion. The Five of Cups reversed, there's no grief. The Hierophant reversed, there's no guidance. The King of Cups is upright, there's support. Yeah, you do have support. You could have support because that's what it needs to be. You could be dealing with another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You can deal with another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could deal with another Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo as earth signs. So there are things that you must learn first in order to do that. That's the way it kind of goes. The King of Wands does represent Leo, Aries, Sagittarius as well. So you have to provide about what's happening around this situation. It needs to be perfect and understanding of the way it goes, because that's the way it seems to be. So I'm going to go from the middle to the left and the middle to the right. So 8 wands reverse, there's no speed. Chariot upright, there's progress. The 9 wands is upright, there's fear. The High Priestess is upright because there's the inner voice. That's what you're going to be using. The King of Wands reverse, there's no passion. But the Knight of Swords is upright, there it represents drama. That's the way it goes, right? Because that's the way it happens. Because when you have drama is the way of you're being a drama queen, or because you're not doing it. That's the way it goes. The 8 wands reverse, you don't have any speed. You have no speed, nothing. And the Chariot is upright because you have progress, right? Progress is coming along. Progress is the way of how you can do it and say, all right, well, I know what to do, but then it's based on that. It's based on how you can do it. It's based on how you can believe what you're looking for. It's based on that. Because, life will give you lots of options, lots of opportunities. That's the way it kind of works. That's what it seems to be. Now, what's happening between this 8 wands? The 7 of cups reversed. So there is no delusion. 2 wands is upright, there's planning. 3 pentacles upright, there's excitement. The sun is upright, there's positivity. The strength card represents Leo. Queen wands reversed. And the King of Cups is upright, because there's support. You have this. You have the base on that. If you're going to look at positivity on the left side, on the right side, that's okay. But when you look at it on the left side, there's no negativity, right? Like there is negativity, but that's the way it goes, because you have to look at it from that perspective. What's in the middle here? The Tower reversed, there's no transformation, but the Empress is upright, there's nourishment. Yeah, because that's the way it is, right? That's the way of how it is, because when you have nourishment, you believe in what you're looking for. You believe about how things are and how you can keep yourself updated rather than being annoying, whatever it is. And you need to understand that. That's why when you look at this, you think, okay, well, everything's fine, but it's like, yeah, but what's the case? Why? That's the way it goes, because you have to think about what's going on. You have to think about what's happening around that situation. Whether if it's good or bad, that's the way it has to be, right? That's the way it kind of concludes. Now, what's between the middle and the left? The Justice reverse, you're not taking action. Full reverse, there's no change. The Wheel of Fortune is upright, there's good luck. Judgment is upright, you're taking action. The Hermit represents solitude, but you're looking for a soulmate. The Devil is upright because there's obsession, there's addictions, there are things that are coming along, right? And you're saying, okay, well, forget this, I don't know what to do. That's what I'm saying here, is where you have to pay attention. Left, right, and center. That's all you want to do. But then does it make you feel that? Does it give you that point of view? You have to give yourself that aspect of how it is. There are things that you must learn first. In order to do that, that's the way it goes, right? So when you do that, that's the way it happens. So what's in the middle towards the right? The Lovers is upright. The Strength card is upright. The Sun is upright. The Magician is upright. There's skill. The Chariot reverse, there's no progress. When reverse, there's mismutations. The Tower is upright. Yeah, because there are basically that moment of having everything that is transforming. Everything is changing. That's the way it goes, because weather events are changing, the seasons are changing, the ways of how you can commute. That's the way it goes, because you have to think about that. You have to think and say, all right, well, I know what to do, but saying, yeah, but how I can do it, how I can believe this, because it's very true, right? It's based on how you can believe it. So what's in the middle here? The Six of Wands reverse, yeah, it does. It represents that you have no celebration. You're not being celebrated because it's not going to work out, you know. And you think why? Because that's the way it happens. Because you have to look at from the five W's. It's who, what, where, when, why in that situation. You know, that's the way it looks on that. But let me clarify this Six of Wands. The Temperance is upright. There's healing. Strength card represents their strength, and the Sun card is upright because there's positivity. You know, when you look at that, you believe that everything will be fine. You just have to stay positive as much as you can. But you know what stresses it out? You have to believe that. You know, and you have to look at that from that perspective. You know, because when I look at the word that's called stressed, you know, leave the word backwards, right? And it say desserts. That's what it means, right? So when you look at it, you have to look at it from a different perspective. That's the way it goes. Because you need to believe that, okay, well, if I'm staying positive, if I have, you know, my strength, if I'm going to have temperance, if I'm healing, that's the way it goes. Because you need to believe that, okay, well, I know what to do. I can do it. And that's the way it happens. But certainty is the key. Certainty about all these things. Because there are things that you must learn first. In order to do that, you need to pay attention, right? And you need to listen. And you need to do exactly what you're told to do. You know, be responsible. But when you have red flags, you know, and the word that is failure, you're going to fail. Whether you're going to like it or not. But you know, it's based on how you're going to feel. You have to pay attention. You have to know what you're going to be doing, you know, because this is the way it goes. You have to believe on what's going on. Because I'm going to say it right now, is seeing is believing. Believing is seeing. That's all you can do. But you have to pay attention about what's going on through this situation. You know, whether it makes sense, whether you're doing exactly what you're told to do. You know, that's the way it goes. But then you have to think about, all right, well, I know what to do, I can do it, but that's the way it happens, right? It's uncertainty. But you need to have your own lifespan. You have to know how you can control it, how you can do it, how you can believe about it. That's what it needs to be, right? So we're almost done with this reading. But the point being is that in this remarkable reading, you have to pay attention to it. You have to do what you can, because that's the way it kind of looks. Because you think that, okay, well, everything's fine, but it's like, no, it's not. Right? That's the way it seems to be. So I can easily understand that. So what's going on between the middle and the left? The Emperor is upright, there's nourishment. Five of Swords reversed, there's no conflict. Page of Wands reversed. Two of Swords reversed. The High Priestess reversed. Queen of Swords reversed. Page of Swords is upright, yeah, because there's education here. You're being educated. Yeah. You could be dealing with in the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What's in the middle towards the right? Six Pentacles is upright because you want to be kindness. Knight of Wands is upright because you want victory on your side. Moon is upright, there's missed rotations. Four of Wands reversed, there's no celebrations. Three Pentacles reversed, there's no excitement. Six of Swords reversed, there's no movement. The Queen of Cups is upright, there's empathy. Yeah, because there are two sides of the story here. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense. But you have to pay attention, whether you like it or not, you know? That's the way it goes. What's between the middle, please? Nine of Wands reversed, there's no fear. Seven Pentacles is upright, there's career. And the Eight of Swords is upright, there's anxiety. Yeah, because you're feeling sad, you're whimpering, you don't know what to do. And, you know, that's the way it goes. Because now you have to think, well, why do I have to take this road? Why do I have to do this? Because you have to look at it. You know, the signs are always around. You just have to look for it. You know, you have to pay attention. You have to do what's happening, because this is the way it kind of looks, because you think, okay, well, everything will be all great, but then this is the way it kind of sees it. So I know that I'll do this a little bit differently. I'm going to use the dice for your numerology as your houses and stuff like that. So there's the 1, there's 5, and there's a 6. So it talks about January, May, and June. Those are the months. It could be talking about your first house, your 5th house, your 6th house. It could be talking about, basically it will talk about October as well as another month, and it does represent another 10th as your house as well, your numerology as the house. But I'll put that in the description box below. So that's what it seems to be, okay, in this reading here. This is the way it kind of looks. Because now you think, okay, well, this is the way it needs to be. And you have to provide about what's going on in this situation, right? So you think, okay, well, everything's fine, but it's like, yeah, but it needs to pay attention, right? That's what it seems to be. And I'll do one card that represents this. Represents the sacred union, partnership, romance. Yeah, it could be that. It could be, you're having partnership, you're having romance, you're having things that you must learn. That's the way it goes. You're creating that ability from that way, and that's the way it looks. You need to believe that, because there is a way of knowing, and you have to understand that, right? That's what it seems to be, and you have to pay attention to, this card. That's the way it goes, because when you have romance or partnership, you're believing in each other. You believe about what's going on. This is the way it kind of looks. So that's what it seems to be, right? Let's see about what's going on. So on the left side it says ego. Archangel feel is a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. That's the way it goes, where you have negativity and you have fear-based thoughts, and that's the way it goes. Because when you're feeling stressed out, if you're feeling like how things are not going your way, that's the way it goes, right? You have to proceed what you're going to be doing, but then it's like, okay, well, I know what to do, but then it's based on that. It's based on how you can provide what you're looking for. It's based on how you can be looking at it. That's the way, from a different angle, right? And on the right side, you have the 9 of Earth is enjoying life is the luxury, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. That's the way it goes, where you need to believe about that. Believe that you can have that ability and, have the luxuries and, do what you can and say, all right, well, I know what to do. But then it's based on that. It's based on how you can look at it from a different perspective, and you need to pay attention, because that's the way it goes, right? Let's see what the universe is saying. So I'm going to do what the universe is saying between the middle and the left, and middle to the right. So the Ace of Cups reversed, there's no satisfaction. Page of Cups reversed, there's no loyalty. 5 of Swords reversed, there's no conflict. 8 of Pentacles upright, there's perfection. The Emperor is upright, there's structure. And the 10 of Pentacles reversed, there's no wealth. No, you're not. You don't have any wealth. You're being poor. You're acting to be poor, and that's the way it goes, right? Because you're saying that you ask and you shall receive. That's what it seems to be, right? What's between the middle and the right? So the 10 of Swords reversed, there's no conclusions. Queen of Pentacles reversed, Queen of Swords reversed, there's no independence. 8 of Swords reversed, there's no anxiety. 10 of Swords upright, there's healing. Page of Swords upright, there's education. The Hierophant upright, there's guidance. 10 of Wands upright, there's burdens. 2 of Cups upright, there's relationships. 3 of Pentacles reversed, there's no excitement. 9 of Cups upright, there's fulfillment. Yeah, that's the way it is. What's in the middle? The tower is upright. Yeah, because there's transformation. Yeah, that's the way it needs to be. It's the way of how you can do that as it takes. That's the way you need to believe. And I know that you might hear my beautiful voice with this, but this is the way it needs to be. So let me read you this card. And it says, combining apart. So it's reversed. So it says combining apart, that's reversed. It says, a situation is unraveling, and your best plans are leading you into a tricky maze. Your challenge is to separate out the elements of this puzzle to get a better perspective on what happened. You may have lingered too long in a place where you didn't belong anymore, seduced by a temporary solution. As you untangle yourself, it's important to maintain a sense of humor. Don't fret. You will learn something valuable that you'll need later when faced with a more dangerous situation. Breathe and know that you are loved. That's what it seems to be, right? So basically, you are in a dangerous maze. You are having trickery. You don't know what to do, but that's what it seems to be. You have to pay attention, and you do what you can, because life will give you lots of opportunities. Life will give you lots of amazing things because you need to pay attention, and you have to. Life goes on. You have to pay attention to it. Whether if you're feeling sad, if you're whimpering, if you're not feeling so well, whatever it is. But then you have to believe that, okay, well, I know what to do, but then I'll get around to it. That's the way it goes. That's the way it happens. And you believe that everything will be okay. Yes, it will be, but you have to pay attention. What's right, what's wrong, what's going on. And you need to understand that because this is the way it looks. This is the way of how it seems to be, and you need to pay attention. That's the way it goes. But this is all I have for you all, and I hope that you will pay attention and read what I'm saying. But this is the way it happens, and this is the way it goes. But thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye for now. Really. Bye.